Hello, hello. We are here for another flower girl in our flower series. So if you guys are ready to paint tonight, I know I'm a little early, but that is because I am going to my daughter's for dinner. So I needed to log on a little early today. So there's that. Let me get to, I'm just sharing this out with all the people who normally paint with me so that they know that I'm on. I want to make sure that I give them plenty of warning so they can join us. So that is what I'm doing right now. If you guys are not, you haven't gotten your paints out yet, then you should definitely do that so that you can paint with us. So let's see, who else do I need to send this with us? So let's see, who else do I need to send this to? Sorry, I'm just kind of I'm making sure that everybody's gets my notice that I'm on, because I'm on an hour earlier than I normally come on. So want to make sure everybody that normally joins me is able to do that. I don't know who I've messaged and who I haven't, so I just want to make sure. Let's see. I think I got everybody that I can think of that normally joins me. So there. All right. Okay. Hey, Stacy Lee. How's it going? I know I'm an hour early, but I have plans tonight to go to my daughter's house for dinner at 7 my time. So I needed to come on early so we had time to get everything done that we want to do tonight. So I am going to be doing the, hang on, guys. I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just hang on. Hang on, guys. I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Now, I want to make sure that we have time to do everything tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to be rushing. So I want to make sure we have plenty of time. But these are the ones we did. These are the ones we've done in this series so far. We did this yesterday. This was the little strawberry girl. I think she turned out super cute. Stacy Lee, I saw your butterfly. I didn't see a message from you, but I might not have seen it today. I haven't really been on today much, so that's all right, Carrie. You've got time to go grab some water. So we have our strawberry girl, we have our peony girl, we have our sunflower girl, and then we have our daisy, and we have our, I'm not sure what she is. I'm going to say she's a zinnia. Then we have our garden girl, and we have our ice cream girl, and we have our sunshine. So those are the ones that we've done so far in this series, and we are going to do a lavender girl today. So I'm going to put her up on the screen for you guys so y'all can see, and I will show you the larger image in a moment, but this is what we're going to be doing today. And I think she is, what did I do? I made her too small. There we are. Okay. So I think she's super cute. I love purple. It's my favorite color. So we are going to do her tonight. Yes, Stacy, your butterfly was adorable. Carrie is right. It was very, very cute. I just didn't see a message. I saw the post, but I didn't see a message from you. So that was probably just because I was kind of hurrying today online. I wasn't on a lot today because I had my grandkids with me most of the day, and then I had to get my videos posted and all that. So I've kind of been just like running behind all day long today. So, okay. So we are going to start with the Nick Pro pencil set, doing our drawing. So go ahead, everybody, and give yourself about a 1/4 inch border all the way around your paper. This is a 2.5 by 3.5 inch size. So if you are wanting to know what size, we're doing an ACO size. This looks like I've drawn something on it already and erased it. This must be one of the ones that my grandson was playing with earlier, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to be using the 0.5 pencil out of this set. And if you're looking for a good pencil set, then Nick Pro is a good one to look into. I've got the one that I'm using that is below, and it comes with the 0.5, the 0.7, and the 0.9, along with the you get 3 of the 2.0 sizes and all of your lead replacements for all of those and all of the different ones. I'm going to be using an HB lead today, and it does come with erasers, and you can also get it with a kneaded eraser as well. There's 2 different kits. One has the kneaded eraser and one does not. I prefer having a kneaded eraser, so it's up to you, but that is below, and that is what we're going to be using, okay? So let's go ahead and get started drawing our little guy, and we'll put a background on and all the things. Let me show you the large one so you guys can get a screenshot. So if you are needing a larger picture of this, now is your chance to grab a screenshot. This is what we're going to be doing. And as we do her, I will talk you through the entire process of drawing her and painting her. So grab your paints, grab your pencils, get a screenshot. You can put your finger on the screen and hold it down. And when you do that, it's going to give you the option to clear the screen of the comments. And you can clear the screen and you can take a good screenshot of her, so you have her to look at. Ellen, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So here is the picture that we're going to be doing. Okay, so grab your watercolor paints or your colored pencils or your gouache paints or whatever your medium is that you prefer. I'm going to be using the Meeden watercolor tube paints. It does look hard, Stacy Lee, but when we break it down, it is not going to be hard. So you don't have to worry. It's going to be very, very simple when we get it broken down into our process, okay? All right, here we go. We are going to get going on the drawing of this first, because I always like to sketch them out first. And what we're going to do is we are just going to give ourselves very light stems, okay, to kind of guide the size of our lavender, so we know kind of where we want our face to be, okay? So these are going to be the lavender stems coming out. Now, of course, it's going to be much more full than that, but that gives us a guide, all right? And then we're going to draw our face or our head. So let's go ahead and do our chin right here. And it's going to go up into the hair. So we're not even going to do any of that. We're just going to give ourselves a guide, okay? That's all we need to do for now. Actually, I want to bring this face up some. So I'm going to erase that a little bit. We're going to bring these out more like this, and I'm going to bring the chin up like this and like this. Okay, so that's going to be the face. And then, of course, we've got the lavender that's going to be coming down. All right? All right, so there is her head and her hair. Okay, so it's very, very loose, okay? We're not having to, this is not something that we want to make super complicated. We just want to guide, okay? Now, the bottom part we're going to draw all out, but when we do the hair, we're going to have to kind of do that in a very loose manner, and it's really going to be one of those things that we do as we go, so I don't really want you to draw too much in that area, okay? Let's go ahead and do our our neck. Bring that down. And let's do our shoulders as well. Okay, so we have our shoulders. Actually, let's bring those a little bit. Let's make those shoulders a little bit wider. Let's bring them out kind of like this, out wider. Okay. All right. Now our arm. Well, actually, let's do the shirt first. So do our straps right here. And then let's bring our little ruffles for our shirt right there. And then we're going to bring our shirt down like this. Okay. So it's very similar to the dress. And we're just going to make scalloped edges on the shirt like this. Okay. Very, very simple. And then we're going to come down with the shorts. Now, I'm not going to, it's in the picture, her belly is showing and it has the waist and the bow and all of that. I'm not doing that. I personally don't like any children's bellies to show. So I'm going to just bring the shorts down straight from the shirt like this. Okay. And then I'm going to give those shorts their scalloped little edges like that. Okay. And they're going to have their little pockets. And then they're going to have a pocket right here that her hand is going to be going into. Okay. So it's going to kind of have a wrinkle right there. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to erase this little line that her shorts are showing right here so that we can draw her arm in there. And her arm is going to come, basically it's going to come down beside her. And then it's going to kind of bend into her pocket like that. And then the dress or the shirt goes over that. Okay. So it kind of goes over her arm. So I want to erase that right there and make sure we have that shirt over the arm. Okay. So there's her arm going into the pocket. And then her arm over here is going to come down. Okay, it's going to come down beside her. And then she's going to have her elbow going up here. Okay. And that comes like this and up. Okay, so this is her arm. Then we have her little thumb that goes around like that. Okay. Oh, yay, Stacy Lee. That's so good. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. Okay, and then we're going to have our lavender stems coming up like this. So just draw a few stems. You don't have to have a ton because we'll draw those in as we go. And we're going to do our fingers. They're going to be ovals. So we're going to go 1 oval, 2 oval, 3 oval, and our 4th oval is going to go like an oval, but it's going to kind of come down right here like that. And then our stems will come out right there at the base. Okay, so she's going to be holding that lavender. Okay. All right. Now the legs come down out of the shorts just like this. And we're going to do socks that come around like this. Okay, and drag them down like that. Just wiggle, wiggle. Just wiggle, wiggle socks. Okay, so wiggle, wiggle. These are just baggy socks. And you can make your little wrinkles in them at wherever the squiggles happen. Those are all technical terms if y'all were wondering. All right. And then we're just going to draw her some, I'm going to make these longer than usual. I'm going to give her long socks. Okay, and we're going to give her, we're just going to give her these simple big boot shoes like this. Big and around. I'm not going to do the tennis shoes today because honestly, I feel like the lavenders are going to take us a while, and I want to make sure we have enough time. Okay, and we're going to put some buttons on here. You know what? I'm not going to do those. We'll do those with and we're going to put some buttons on here. You know what? I'm not going to do those. We'll do those with the Lango pins. Okay. All right. So there is the basics of her. Let's go ahead and do some stems for our lavender on each side. That's going to be coming up. Just like that. Now, you guys, lavender is a lot easier to paint than you would be coming up. Just like that. Now, you guys, lavender is a lot easier to paint than you would. And lighten up your lines on everything. Don't worry about the head, because we didn't do a lot with that, and that's because we didn't need to. Okay. So we've got her lightened up, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start with the hair and the head, okay? So we can get that out of the way, because that's going to be the most difficult part, and it's going to be the part that everybody kind of is panicked over. So I want to go ahead and get that part done very quickly and easily with you guys, okay? All right, so you guys give me some feedback in the comments. Are you ready to move on to start coloring the hair and everything in? Because that is going to be the part that I think everybody is going to be stressing over. So I want to get that one. I want to kind of get that out of the way so you guys understand that it's really not going to be as hard as it looks. Okay. Give me some thumbs up in the comments that you're ready to move on. Okay. I want you guys to know that I did find my 005 in my Grabby multi-liner. So I'm excited about that. I'm pulling my 003 as well. And I'm going to pull my 003 in my micron as well, because it's got a little bit more ink in it, and there's going to be times that I want less ink and times that I want more ink. So I'm going to pull the 003 in that as well as soon as I can find it. I'm looking for it right now. It's right here somewhere. Where did it go? I know I stuck it up there. Maybe I stuck it in my... Where did it go? I know I stuck it up there. Maybe I stuck it in my... I swear, y'all, there every time. Oh, here it is. All right. Okay, we're going to need that. So, the next thing you're going to need is a waterproof pen, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to put paint over this once we draw the hair. So, you're either going to have to do the lavender first and then put the hair in, or do the lavender after we put the hair in. So if you do the lavender after we put the hair in, you need a waterproof pen. Okay. I'm going to do it with the lavender first, and then we put the hair in second. And the reason I'm doing that is for those of you who don't have a waterproof pen, then it won't mess you up. Okay. Sound good? Okay. So we're going to need our golden maple detail brush, or whatever detail brush you prefer. You're going to need a very, very small one. Okay. I have two different ones that I prefer. They're both golden maple, and they're both really teeny tiny. Okay. So I'm going to show you which ones they are. I have the golden maple 18/0 out of their 20 brush set. And then I also have the golden maple 10/0 out of the blue set that they have. The first one I'm going to use is going to be the 20 brush set. So it's going to be this 18/0. Okay. So I'm going to do that one first. And what we're going to do is we are going to start adding our lavender in. So we're going to need to take we're going to choose a green. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this kind of, let me just see, hang on. Go ahead and spray your paints and get them ready, guys. And Let's see. I don't think I want to use that green. Let me just check it out and see. No, I think I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I'm going to use, it's almost an olive green. It actually may be the olive green in the set. I don't have my swatches in front of me to tell you. So just pick whatever green you want to do for your stems. And remember, this is going to be her hair. And we're going to fill it in with hair as well. But we want the majority of it to be the lavender stems, okay? So we're going to take our brush and we're just going to start at where the hairline would start. And we're going to bring our lavender stems kind of down, okay? So go ahead and make your stems for your lavender, and they can be kind of drooping together. And of course, coming out like this. Now we're going to fill these in. They're going to have some leaves and some lavender on them, so they will fill out more than what you see here now. But just go ahead and make sure you have enough. We can always add more later, but make sure you have enough to kind of fill it in first. It's going to be coming out. And it's going to look really strange right now. So just know, remember, everything goes through an ugly phase. So just trust the process as we do this, okay? Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we kind of have our, that's okay. It's supposed to be ugly at start. Okay. So don't panic. All right. Now we have our lavender stems coming up. Okay. And now we are going to add in our lavender leaves. Okay. So we're going to use two different purples. Okay. We're going to use this light purple right here, which is this color. Let me just show you so you can pick the purple in your set that looks closest. And then we're going to pick this dark purple as well, which is this set, okay? So find two purples that you like out of the set that you're using. I'm using the Meeden tube paints. So this is the set of paints that I'm using, in case you guys are wondering. All right. And we're using these two purples. So let's go with the light purple first. Make sure all your stems are dry. And you're going to dip into your light purple, okay? And we're going to do press and lifts, okay? So I want to show you. They're going to be little bitty. So we're going to press and lift. And then we're going to do it on the other side of it. And we're going to press and lift like that. So it kind of looks like a heart, okay? That's what we're going to do. And we're going to fill it in with the darker purple with that same technique, okay? So I want everybody to make sure that you have your light purple loaded onto your brush, okay? Don't have too much water, because if you put too much water on there, you know what we didn't do, guys? We didn't do our background. That's okay. We'll just do a splatter today. And we can do we can draw our little border around if we want to. Okay. So go ahead now and dip into your light purple, and you're going to do those lift and presses. So we're going to do a lift and press right at the tip. Okay. And then we're going to do a lift and press and a lift and press. Like that. And we're just going to kind of go down our stem. doing that, okay? And what we want is we want this to kind of fill out like a triangle. So it's going to be thin at the top and it's going to widen out at the base, okay? So we're going to do more of them as we get further down the stem. Okay. Lift and press. And just kind of spread those out where you feel like they need to be. Okay. Now see how that did? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dark purple. So rinse your brush off completely. Okay. And take some of your dark purple. And now we're going to add in some of that darker purple. So we're going to put some right here maybe. Maybe one right here. And then right here. And maybe here and here. So just kind of fill in where you feel like that dark purple will look good. So you have that contrast, okay? You can go ahead and go up that next stem with your dark purple since it's already on your brush. Okay. And then do your light purple. Rinse your brush, dip into your light purple, and add that into that next stem. Doing this is where having this on a board and not pinned down to your paper is very beneficial. Okay, so we're just basically filling in petals as we go. And if you feel like you need to make it wider, just add petals on top of each other to do wider. Just add petals on top of each other to do that. Give yourself space as you go up the stems so that you have room to fill in that dark purple. Rinse your brush and start filling in the dark purple. Okay. Y'all give me some feedback. Let me know how it's going in the comments, please, so I know how we're doing. The stems I did, it was an olive green. It was like an olive color. It was this color green. Sorry. I just saw your question, Carrie. So I'm just going to fill in some of this dark. And you can go right over the top of some of that light if you want to, so that it looks like it's kind of behind it. That's okay too. You just want to make sure that you've got it good and filled in with your lavender. Okay. Okay. We're going to keep doing that on each of these stems. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my light and I'm going to do 2 stems at a time. Since I already have it on my brush, it's just a press and lift, just like we did at the beginning that I showed y'all. It's press and lift, press and lift. Kind of widens out so you can put some out further away if you need to. Okay. And then let's go in with the darker purple. And get that dark purple in there. And the dark purple is just a kind of a filler. So you don't have to get super carried away with the dark. You just want to make sure you're filling in those areas that you feel like it needs some of that contrast. Okay. Contrast. Okay. Press and lift. I even do some that aren't even touching the stem, just to kind of widen that out a little bit and make it wider. Okay. Now let's add in the dark purple. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Y'all don't forget to claim your engagement points right here at the Heart Me. Grab that right there. Thank you for the Heart Me. Grab that right there. And it will notify you when I'm live, which is pretty much every day. I come on here and do some sort of a tutorial for you guys. And if you want that, or you know of anybody who might, share this live out. And also hit that follow button if you are interested in this kind of content. I would love to have you daily on here with us painting. My lives are normally in the mornings, but we are doing our nighttime live on Wednesday evenings. I usually do Wednesday evening lives because I have my grandkids on Tuesdays and I have them on Wednesday mornings because they spend the night. So I don't do lives when they're here because they're young and it's hard for me to supervise and do that at the same time. So Wednesdays, we do Wednesday evenings. But normally I'm on in the mornings between 10 and 11 for a couple of hours. Okay. Let's do these. So all we're doing is pressing and lifting on these petals. Press and lift. Press and lift. It kind of makes a little heart shape as we go up the stem. And then we fill it in with that dark purple. It is not raining here, but if it starts raining, y'all aren't going to be able to hear me because my microphone is on. It broke, and so it's not working, my noise cancellation microphone. And unfortunately, I have a metal roof, so that might be a problem. If it starts raining, we're going to be in trouble. Is it raining in town, Mom? It sprinkled a little bit earlier, but not anything major. Whew. Thank you, Stacy Lee. Thank you guys for those gifts. I appreciate that. All right, so we have that one done. Now let's do the light purple again. Just follow up the stem, press and lift, press and lift, press, press, press. Hey, Ginger, how's it going? Glad you're here. I came on early tonight. I normally don't come until 6, but I'm going to my daughter's tonight to hang out and watch we've been watching this series on one of the channels that I don't get, and she does. So I'm going to go over and watch that with her and at 7. So I needed to come on early. So I had time because I knew we were going to do, this was going to take some time because lavender is not hard, but it is time consuming because you have all these little petals and flowers to put on here. And it can be difficult to go fast. It's not hard. It's just slow going. It's called Parenthood, I think, is the name of it. It's a series. about just this. It's just a family dynamic series. Basically, it's a character movie or show. And she swears that the guy in the movie, the two, like the mother and the father, which are the grandmother and the father, are very so much like me and my husband. She says, I'm telling you, this is our family. Grandmother and the father are very so much like me and my husband. She says, I'm telling you, this is our family. Over there and watch it once a week. We go over there and watch an episode. So just mainly just to hang out and enjoy each other's company. That's just kind of what we do. We always like to have fun little get-togethers every week. It'll be nice when they're out here and back, moved into the house on the property, and we won't have to do that. We'll be right next door. So hopefully we got all of our kitchen moved into the house on the property, and we won't have to do that. We'll be right next door. So hopefully we got all of our kitchen restoration of our 1860s farm home. Then y'all be looking for some kitchen updates because we're going to be having some. It's exciting, of the main house, because the tiny house is already done. Although I will tell you, we do have a back deck still to put onto the tiny house, but that's kind of on the back burner until we get the main house finished so the kids can get moved in. So, all right, I'm just filling it in my dark now. Hey, Kim, how's it going? Yes. Yeah, he'll be going too. Yeah. We usually go and have dinner and watch an episode or two once a week. Okay. All right, so we kind of have her hair done. So now what I want you to do is you want to look at it and see if it's kind of the shape that you want it before you start. I wish it was better, but you get what you get. I'm sorry, Kim. But it'll get better. It'll get better. Okay. Be sure you look at it and see kind of what you want your hair shape to be. Like, I think I need to have one more right there. So I'm going to dip into my green, and I'm going to go ahead and add in that stem right here and fill that in. I feel like I have kind of a wonky shaped head without it. So I'm going to do that. So that she's got she doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical on both sides, but you kind of want it to be similar. So there we go. That's better. Now let's add in the dark purple. Yes, I will be adding extra hair that's not lavender. We will be doing that next. I just wanted to do the lavender first in case those people who don't have a waterproof pen want to use watercolor, like a black watercolor, to do it. Because if we did the hair first with the waterproof pen and then we added the lavender and you did it with watercolor and not a waterproof pen, then it would smear. So I did that for the benefit. You could do it either way. You could do the hair first and then the lavender, or you could do the lavender and then the hair. But I did that for the benefit of the people who don't have a waterproof pen, because that way they can use their brush and do the hair with black watercolor, because that's what we're going to do next. So let's dry the hair. Okay. Let's dry. And then we will add in the actual hair itself with either the same, you're going to use the teeny tiny little brush. Okay, a teeny tiny brush. This is like, I swear, I feel like this brush has like 5 bristles on it, and that's it. It's like teeny tiny. Okay, so use a teeny tiny detail brush and some black watercolor if you don't have a waterproof pen. If you do have the waterproof pen, like the Micron or the Grabby Multiliner, then use that because it'll be easier. Renee, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. I'll put the Grabby multi-liners up on screen in case anybody's interested in purchasing those. If you don't have a waterproof pen and you want a set, then that is what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using the 003 to start because I want very, very fine hair around the lavender. So what we are going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to create some bangs. Actually, I think I want to use I'm going to use the Micron 003 because my Grabby 003 is almost out of ink and it's not going to show as much. So, but we want this hair to kind of come and frame her face. But we want this hair to kind of come and frame her face. And right here at her bangs, we're going to bring that down and we're going to have that hair kind of coming down. Okay. See how we're doing that? Susan, thank you so much for the follow. And then we're going to do that same thing here. We're going to kind of just bring that hair along the frame of her face and we're going to bring it down around the flowers and kind of out as well so that we have that hair coming down. We can do some extra long strands if you want that just kind of come out a little bit more. Like that. So it kind of gives her longer hair. And then any of these gaps that we have, you want to put some hair strands in those gaps. Okay. Coming out. And right here at the top, you can have them either come up or you can fold them over like they're kind of brushed down. I want mine to kind of come up like they're disheveled because you guys know that I love the disheveled little whimsical look. So that's what we're doing with mine, is just bringing them up like that and filling in these gaps. Sort of like Medusa, only with lavender, right? Okay, so now she's got hair filled in there. And so now what we're going to do is with that hair, we're going to go in with a brown with our detail brush. So rinse your water, like get clean water and rinse your brush and go in and grab a brown for the hair color. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of come along the hairline and just kind of fill that in just oh so lightly down these strands. You can leave it black if you want. I just like a contrast. So, and then of course, you know, in these little spots, you can add the brown in there to kind of fill that in. Okay. And then again, right here, do that with the bangs. Just kind of go in and fill it in. Now, if you did this with watercolor and not a waterproof pen, you don't want to do this. It's going to smear because your watercolor is going to, you know, blend, and you don't want that. So just leave it black or use a brown watercolor if you choose to. If you choose to do that, you can do that. Okay, but for you know, all intents and purposes, you want those white areas around the lavender to be filled in with brown or black, whatever color you want the hair. If you want your hair black, then you can do that. I'm using brown. Okay, but just kind of fill in those gaps and those little white areas with brown. Okay, so now you've got your lavender and you've got all your little brown hair coming out. So see, that wasn't so bad, guys. See, when you break it down, it becomes very, very simple. Okay, all right, so now we're going to do her face. So I'm going to go ahead and get my larger brush, and I'm going to use my Meeden #1, and I'm going to dip into this yellow ochre color right here. And we're going to just fill in her face. You want to make sure you have enough water that it's not super dark, because we want it to be kind of skin toned. Okay. And go ahead and fill that in with her skin tone color in her hair, or in her face. Just like this. Okay, so she's faceless right now, but we're going to put a face on her in just a minute. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab some of this brown and kind of give her some shadows around, like right in here where her hair kind of overlaps, and right around her chin area. Okay, we want to make sure she's got some contrast. Okay, add water if you need to, so that you don't have harsh lines, but you definitely want to have some shadows in those areas. Okay, go ahead and fill that in. Just put in those shadows wherever you feel like you need them. Go right along here, right along here, right along here. Okay, once you're done with that, then you are going to want to first make sure you don't have any harsh lines. Then we are going to want to give her some cheeks. When we give her cheeks, we want her cheeks to be wet. Want to just drop in a little bit of pink where we want her cheeks to be. Just like that. Okay, and then go ahead and dry it. And then once it's dry, get out your waterproof pen again, or your detail brush and your black paint. Okay, I'm going to use my Micron, the 003, and we're going to do the eyes first. We're going to do her little eyebrows right here. Okay, to do the eyes first. We're going to do her little eyebrows right here. Okay, okay, and then let's do her nose. Just like that. And then we want to bring her mouth from cheek to cheek. Just like that. Okay. Now, Ginger, thank you for sharing the live out. Now, we want to put the white on. We want to put little white highlights in her eyes. So you're going to grab either going to use some white gouache or gesso, or white acrylic paint, or an acrylic white marker, or an acrylic gel pen. I'm using the Lango acrylic gel pen in white, and I'm just going to tap the tips of my eyes just like that and give those eyes their whites. Just like that. Look how cute she is. Okay. All right. So there we go. And now it's time to move down to the body. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and outline her face And when we do this, I'm also going to give her some little scraggly bangs that are coming down. Just because I think those will look good. Okay. Just like that. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and fill in. Let's do her skin. So what we did for the skin was we used our yellow ochre. So dip in there and grab some of that. You don't want too much. Want to make sure it has enough water in it. That is not too dark, so add water if you need to. And let's put her skin. Let's get her skin. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to use my detail brush for this, y'all. Because that one is just too much. Okay. So we're going to. One is just too much. Okay. So we're going to. And then the shoulder and arm that's going to be holding the lavender flowers. And just so you know, we will make sure that they go over the top there. So they'll kind of be over the top of her hair there. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do her legs too while we're at it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add in the purple for the dress. And we're going to go with both the dark and the light purple again. But we're going to do that light purple first. Okay. And we're going to add lots of water because we want it to be a very light shade of this purple. Okay. Because we're going to add in some shadows. Okay. So we're going to make that scallop on the shirt. And on this shirt up here. Sorry, I got really quiet, didn't I? I'm concentrating. All right. Reminds me that we need to have some music. Francis, thank you so much for the follow. All right. So what we are Francis, thank you so much for the follow. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to add in some shadows next, okay? Okay, now we have a little bit of music playing in case I have to go quiet again. Brenda, thank you for sharing the live. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to get the detail brush out. I'm going to get my water, and it's just going to be clear water, okay, that I'm adding in right here. And we are going to make sure that we have our shadows happening on our dress, okay? Those are going to happen on mostly on this left side, okay? We're going to take the dark purple and we're going to drop that in right along here. Right along the scallop. Now rinse your brush and just kind of drag that. And if it doesn't want to drag, add a little bit of water to it and kind of blend it out so that it doesn't get, you don't have harsh lines. You don't want any harsh lines in those shadows. Okay. All right. Now take a little bit more of that dark purple and go just a little bit into that other sleeve. And then blend it out. Okay. All right. We'll fix that with colored pencils too later, some of this shadowing, but we do kind of want some of those wrinkles in there. And remember the other day when I said I'm terrible with wrinkles? Well, I'm still terrible with them, but we're going to do our best. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the dark color. We're going to put just a little bit of it in with this lighter color. So it's slightly darker than the light purple, but it's not as dark as the dark purple, if that makes sense. And we are going to draw in. It's got to be dry. Make sure it's dry. So go ahead and dry your top. Hi, Candy. How are you? Thank you. All right. Once it's Hi, Candy. How are you? Thank you. All right. Once it's so that we kind of have these little pleats. Now rinse your brush and with clear water, kind of blend those out so that they kind of look more like a shadow than a line. And then you kind of have these little pleats. So. And then you kind of have these little pleats. So. Okay. All right. So now we have our little pleats happening. We've got our shadows happening. That looks good. So I'm not going to worry about much more on the shirt because we'll do the rest of the shadowing with our colored pencils at the end like we always do. Okay. Yes, Stacy Lee, he's going to go with me. Let me grab a drink of water real fast. Okay. Now it's time to do the shorts. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing. We're going to take that light purple and we're just going to okay. All right, so now we have our little pleats happening. We've got our shadows happening. That looks good. So I'm not going to worry about much more on the shirt because we'll do the rest of the shadowing with our colored pencils at the end like we always do. Okay. Yes, Stacy Lee, he's going to go with me. Let me grab a drink of water real fast. Okay, now it's time to do the shorts. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing. We're going to take that light purple and we're just going to fill it in. And our shorts are also going to be scalloped, so and just keep filling those in. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Okay. Am I back? Is that better? Am I back? Let me know. Let me know if I am back. Sorry, it froze for some reason. I have no idea. See no color, but I hear your voice. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let's see what's going on here. Let me see if I can figure this out. I don't know. Okay, you can see me now? All right. Give me some feedback, guys. Let me know. You can hear and see me, please. So I make sure that I'm not frozen. Yes? Check, check, check. Let me know if you can. Stacy says she can see and hear me. All right, thumbs up from Stacy Lee. What about you, Carrie? Can you hear me and see me now or not? I know you're following along, so I want to make sure that you are able to see and hear me before I move on. Yes or no? I feel like we're doing a commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you? Yeah, no kidding. I do too. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, you got me back. All right, perfect. All right, we're going to move on. So we have the shorts. They're in the light purple. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Ginger. So we've got the light purple shorts, and now we're going to go in, and we're going to add in some water, and we're going to put in some shadows, okay? So go in right up underneath the scallops of the shirt, okay, and add in some water. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to take this dark purple and we're just going to go right along the bottom of the scallops with that dark purple. And we're going to drag that down with clear water. Okay, so make sure that you have enough water that you don't end up with harsh lines. Okay, we're dragging that down. And we're going to do it again right here under these scallops. So grab that, fill it in with the dark. Then grab your rinse your brush, clear water, and just drag that down. So we have those shadows underneath the scallops of the shirt. Okay. Now, at the same time, take that dark purple and we're going to give ourselves that pocket lining. So we're going to go just like this where our pocket would be. Give ourselves a little bit of shadow there. And then right here where our pocket is. And give ourselves shadows right around that arm. And that's going to be a little darker. Okay, so that pocket's going to kind of show a little darker. Okay. Same thing we did with the wrinkles in the shirt. We're going to kind of add those scalloped wrinkles in the shorts. Okay, very, very lightly. Be very subtle with these, okay? You don't want too much. I really messed that one up. All right, one good thing about watercolor is you can blend it all out and start over. All right. Cool, Stacy. These are fun. They are. They've been out of my comfort zone, but they're definitely fun. All right, let me make sure that's dry. I'm going to try that scallop again on the shorts because I kind of messed those up. So we're going to go from this end so I can have the angle correct. There we go. Okay. All right. So now we've got that done. We want a little bit of shadow right where the legs come together. I know that's always like questionable, but we're doing it because that's where the shadow would be, in the wrinkly area right there. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit right here. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. All right, let's do the socks. Okay, so for the socks, we're going to do kind of this, we're going to take this white, and we're going to take just a little bit of the skin color and mix it in with the white. So it's not quite white, but it's also not the skin color, and it's also not the background color. Not quite white, but it's also not the skin color, and it's also not the background color. Socks with this sort of off-white color. Okay. And then we're going to take that darker, like this yellowy ochre, and we're going to make those wrinkles. So we're going to come around. Make those wrinkles in the socks. Okay. And then we're going to make sure we go around the front of the sock, of the leg. And then we're going to fill in with our grabby or with your black paint. I'm just going to use black paint for this. I'm going to use my teeny tiny little brush. I'm going to dip into my black paint. And we're going to fill in right here on the sides of our socks. Those shadows. Okay. So that it's kind of going down inside the sock. Okay. Hey, Tipsy Gypsy. How are you? Good to see ya. All right, we're going to do that same thing on the other side. Go ahead and take that same white that we used, or not really white, but that off-white that we mixed, and do the socks. Fill them in. And then take your detail, your small, teeny tiny detail brush, dip directly into that yellow ochre. Okay. And get those wrinkles in there and those outlines. Okay. And then fill in the black. Okay. So we have the socks done. Okay. Now, I'm going to dry that. I need to clean up the socks, the shadow area in the socks, because I didn't do very well with my black. AK Sissy, thank you for the follow. So let's go ahead and clean this up just a little bit. Okay. And then okay. All right, so now we have our socks. Let's go ahead and outline the neck area. Now, when we get to the hand, we want to make sure we define these little thumbs and the fingers, okay? But we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to go ahead and put the lavender in there first, okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about how we did the lavender in the hair, okay? And we're going to do that same thing here, okay? We're going to take that green, that olive green, and we're going to draw a few stems up from the hand. Not a ton. We don't need a ton. Just enough. And bring them out of the hand here. Okay? Just like that. Okay? And then grab your light purple. And we're going to do that press and lift. That same press and lift. Working on things for my live tomorrow evening. Excited to get my... Oh, I'm excited for you to get that sticker maker. You are going to be so in love with it. You're going to be obsessed. I catch myself like playing with it, and then I'm like, wait, you got to stop this. You got to get some work done, because I play with that thing all the time. I go press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. Remember, we want these to be a little wider at the base. Almost kind of like a triangle. What time is your live tomorrow, Tipsy Gypsy? Y'all, if y'all don't follow her, she does these really cool mystery bag lives. So y'all should for sure follow her and join her lives. They're really cool. I haven't done one yet. I mean, I've been on them, but I haven't like done the mystery thing yet. But it looks like a ton of fun. Hey, I get things with Klarna all the time. Nothing wrong with that. we have to figure a way to get the things we need, right? And you need that. All right, so now we have that. Now let's do the darker purple. Okay, so now she's holding her lavender. So now we can do her fingers. So go ahead and rinse your brush and take your pen now. 7 p.m. All right, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys. Tomorrow is the Tipsy Gypsies Mystery live, and she's got a lot of specials and stuff going on. So y'all be sure and put that in your calendar to go and join her tomorrow for that, because it will be lots of fun. Frida, thank you for the follow. Okay, so we're going to go with, remember how we do our fingers? We go an oval and an oval. And an oval. And then our pinky finger kind of comes around like this and in. Okay, and we want to make sure those stems are coming out of her pinky. So I'm going to draw those in now so that it looks like it's coming out right here. Okay, like that. Okay, easy cheesy. Oh, absolutely, Tipsy Gypsy. I love your lives. And I love supporting other creators. I think it's important that we all support each other. We all stop in, even if you can only stop in for like 5 or 10 minutes and say hello and then drop a gift or two and all of that. That's important. So any of you guys, if I see y'all are live and I'm able to get on, I will get on, even if it's just for a few minutes to pop in and drop a gift, because those are so important for live creators to help our accounts. And I think it's important that we support each other, because, you know, nobody, our closest people are usually not going to be the ones to support us. It's going to be the strangers on the internet. Now, my mom is always going to support me. She's always there. But seriously, most of the time, it's strangers on the internet that are going to give you the most support. And thank you, Frida. It's not necessarily going to be your friends and family. So just keep that in mind and support other live creators as much as possible. I get shares from you guys all the time about other creators. And even if I don't know who they are, if they're still live when I see the share that you sent me, I always pop on, at least jump in and drop a gift or something, because even if it's just a little rose, I mean, it's just, gifts are so important for live creators, and also just being in the room and sharing it out and tapping the screen and giving them some likes and, you know, doing all the engagement things that help creators to grow. You know, that's important. Thank you for that, Rose, Frida. I appreciate that. And thank you for the repost, Stacey Lee. All right, let's do the shoes. Now we're going to do, thank you for the repost, Stacey Lee. All right, let's do the shoes. Now we're going to do purple shoes with dark purple soles, okay? So let's do the light purple in the shoe itself. I need some more water on my brush. All right, so we're going to go in and we're going to do this light purple, the top of the shoe. Sorry, I have to turn it. The top of the shoe is going to be this light purple. But I want to have a highlight on it. So I'm going to rinse my brush and drop some water right in the middle. And I'm going to dry my brush. And now I'm going to pick up some of that water so that I have a little bit of a highlight right there on the tip of the shoe. So that I have a little bit of a highlight right there on the tip of the shoe. We're going to go right along the base for our sole, so that the sole of the shoe is that darker purple, just like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just do the sole of the shoe right here, since I've already got the dark purple out and on my brush. And then rinse my brush, grab some of that light purple, and fill in go ahead and dry your brush and lift up some of that color. Give yourself a little bit of a highlight right there on the top. Okay, so now we have those shoes. All right, a little bit of a highlight right there on the top. Okay, so now we have those shoes. All right, in the Grabby multi-liner, because it's almost out of ink and I don't want a ton of ink. I just want a little bit of an outline. So when they start running low on ink, because I've been using it constantly, I use it like this, and it makes for a good, just subtle outline. Because we need that. Okay. All right. Now let's reach into our green and give us our lavender stems. Thank you, Frida, for reposting. I appreciate that so much. Let's do our stems. Very light-handed. Thin stem. Over here too. There we go. Just like this. Okay. Y'all don't forget to grab your engagement points right here at this little heart me. Just click that heart and it'll tell you what to do. It'll give you notify you when I'm on live. It'll also help your account as much as it helps mine. They're good engagement points to get. So if you help your account as much as it helps mine, they're good engagement points to get. So if you think, because I want these to be more pronounced, so I'm going to, they're going to be wider at the base than what they are like on the hair. Okay. So I'm just going wider. Okay. Here. Just kind of doing little random petals. And I'm going out further so that I can bring them in skinnier at the top. So they're kind of a triangle shaped. Okay, I'm really kind of just dotting things. Okay, now I'm going to grab a little bit of the dark purple. And I'm going to do that same thing. I'm just going to add in some of the dark. Just kind of dotting it through some of this so that it's got contrast to it. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to do the other side the same way. Okay, grab that light purple first. Just kind of randomly like dotting and squiggling, making it kind of squiggly and dotted. Okay. I'm going to get the dark purple. Put in some of that dark purple across the tops of these little petals and make some contrast in there. Just like that. Okay. There we go. All right, I think that looks good. Just taking my black marker and just giving some little wispies like grass. Okay. Now let's go ahead and pull out our colored pencils and shade in a little bit of her shirt and shorts, and so that she looks a little less flat, because she's very, very flat right now. So I'm going to take this light purple, and I'm going to take this medium purple, and I'm going to take this dark purple. Okay, so these are the three I'm using. I'm using the light purple, the light orchid, and the mineral violet. Honestly, I'm going to use just the violet, not the mineral violet. I think that'll look better. Okay, so I'm going to use the violet. Now, these are the Color colored pencils. There's 240 pencils in this set, guys, and they are super, super nice. I love this set. It's my favorite set. So we are going to use this to kind of, Gail, thank you so much for the follow, to just do some shading, okay? So you're going to take you're going to do a very light pressure in these areas where we have these shadows, okay? Then you're going to do a light pressure, and you're not going to come down quite as far. And then you're going to do a light pressure with the dark. And you're not going to come down near as far. You're just going to basically outline it. Okay. Now we're going to do medium pressure. I need to sharpen this. Sorry, guys. Thanks for the rose, Mom. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Yes, Gail, we drew it first, and then we painted it, and now we're doing some shading just to kind of make it not quite so flat. It's a little bit flat still. So we want it to have a little bit of oomph to it. So we're gonna, this is medium pressure now, guys. Okay. All right, now we're going to do heavy pressure. Thanks, Tammy. Are you leaving, Carrie? Oh, you got to run. Okay. Okay, Carrie. Bye. I'm glad you hung out with us. I bet it's not as bad as you think. Okay, now it looks a little off because we do have some extra, you know, it's the middle's flat. So what we do is we take our white and we blend it with the white, and that's going to bring it all together. So we take our white and we blend it out just like this, so that we have these highlights. Okay. Good. Now I'm going to take this dark and I'm going to go right along here. Just kind of give that shadow in there. Okay. And let's do the shoes. And blend those out with the white. There we go. So pretty. Thanks, Nomadic Art Wives. I appreciate it. Thanks, Frida, for popping in. Appreciate it so much. Yeah, she's cute. I think she turned out really cute. Now, it's time for us to go ahead and do our splatter on her. So what I'm going to do, well, first, I want to go in with my black pen, and I'm going to just give some little movement. So I'm going to kind of make that come out, and maybe right there, like that. I think that's really all I need to do. Oh, you know what? We need to put bows right here. So that's tied, because those are tied onto her shoulders. And then let's put some buttons on her shirt with our white multi-liner, or with our white gel pen. So we're going to go a white dot in the middle. Well, maybe if I can get, I always forget, let my acrylic paint dry on it. Okay, so we have 3 buttons. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let those dry. So let's get them dry. Because that's acrylic paint. So you got to make sure it's dry. Okay. And then once it's dry, I'm going to put my 2 little buttonholes in each one of the buttons. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. Just like that. Okay. All right. So she has her buttons. Just like that. Okay. All right. So she has her buttons. Purple first. So I'm going to take my Mita #1 brush. I'm going to dip into the light purple. And I am going to tap. Okay. And now I'm going to get some of the dark purple, not much of the dark because it'll overpower everything. So, because we've got a lot of flowers on her. So, I just don't want it to be too much. Okay. That's it. And let's dry her and we will peel the tape. So we are going to peel through the tape. Or peel the tape, and then we'll see. We didn't really put a background on her, so we're not going to see a frame. What we could do is we could do a frame with the the micron. How did I do my frame on my other one that I did that to her? So see, all I did was just frame her out like this. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to peel the tape first because I didn't do a background on her. And then I'm going to go along the edge like this and just frame her out. Just like that. There she goes. Thank you, Nomadic Art Wives. Y'all, if y'all don't follow Nomadic Art Wives, y'all go follow her. She's working really hard to get to her 1,000 people. So she can get into TikTok shop, I think. So you guys go follow her. And make sure that she hits that. Or maybe it's not you that's getting to the 1,000. Maybe it's the 10,000 that you were working on. I can't remember. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. But either way, go follow her because it's a great account. So, okay. Can you put the white markers in here so I can grab them? The link wasn't working for me. Oh, hang on one second. Yeah, let me pull them up and see if I can do that, Carrie. They were out of stock the other day, but let me just make sure. Let's see. ZSCM. Let me see. I can find the white ones. I'm not showing them coming up for some reason. Let me just see. They're not coming up for me for some reason. I don't know if they're out of stock, Carrie. They might be out of stock. They go out of stock pretty quickly once they come back in. So it's not letting me pin them. Yay, Tammy, I'm so glad you love the pencils. I need to, I'll go look it up and see if I can find a link that'll work for you, Carrie, okay? Because the one that I have here will not let me pull it up because it's showing that they're out of stock. It could be that they're just totally out and you're just going to have to wait on those. Okay, Stacy Lee says they're sold out. I thought they were because when I was looking today, I was trying to find the link and it kept coming up unavailable. And then I finally found one that looked like it worked, but it might have been one that was sold out as well. So they sell out fast. As soon as they come into stock, they sell out really quick. So as soon as I see that they're back in stock, I'll send you a link for them so you can grab them before they go out of stock again. Okay. Oh, I love these pencils. They're amazing. They're really, really good. I think they're just as good as the expensive brand that starts with a P, and that is simply my opinion. But I have that brand and I love them, but these I love equally as much, and they're not near as expensive. So, all right, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight. I know I was kind of rushing tonight because I was in a hurry because I'm fixing to leave and go to my daughter's for dinner, but I still think she turned out super cute, and I hope that you guys enjoyed that tutorial tonight. Let's look at the ones we've done. So this was tonight's tutorial. So stinking cute. I'm so glad you love them, Tammy. I knew that you would. I love them too. So this is tonight's. We've done the little garden girl. We've done the little zinnia girl. We did the daisy. We did the sunflower. We did the peony. We did the strawberry. We did the ice cream and the sunshine. So those are all of the ones that we've done so far in this series, which I think is so much fun. We kind of accidentally ended up doing this series. It wasn't something that I planned, but good grief, how cute are those? I think that they turned out so good, all of them. Tomorrow, my live will be, what is tomorrow? Thursday. I will have one in the morning at about 10:30 Central Standard Time. Thank you, Tammy. I will be on for another tutorial. I hope that you guys will join us. I might do some lettering tomorrow. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, but I think I'm probably going to do some lettering art tomorrow. I have a new lettering book, and I've been practicing with it, and I kind of want to play around with that. So I will probably do a lettering tutorial tomorrow. Y'all don't forget, you can get any of my replays on my Tube of You channel. If you've missed any of these that you would like to try, you can grab them on my Tube of You, and I will be more than happy to upload the one from tonight. When I get back from my daughters tonight, I'll try to get that one uploaded. But all of the rest of them are up except for these 3. These are the last 3 we've done, and they are not uploaded as of yet. But she's uploading and she is downloading. She's uploading and she is downloading right now. So she should be uploaded by tonight for sure. And hopefully I'll get to uploading her tonight. And then maybe by tomorrow I'll have her up there. Okay? All right, guys, I appreciate you spending time with me and hanging out. I have had so much fun. Thank you, guys, to everybody who supported my showcase. If you purchased anything, thank you for all the gifts that you've given me, all of the likes, all of the reposts and shares, everything, all the engagement that you guys put into my lives. I am incredibly appreciative for that. I'm so thankful. And I hope that you guys will have a wonderful Wednesday evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 Central Standard Time for another watercolor tutorial. And we'll talk.